I think the clients need to sharpen up also with the speed.
G.
Because pehle, if you go in a classical way of an agency, was that the agency would be client's partner in any form of written or spoken communication he's going to do.
Right.
Now the client has about 9 people to discuss the same idea
Right.
from morning till night.
Including ChatGPT.
I just think I don't know how they do it. Like, so you meet him in the morning, you're the creative agency, and we're like, oh, we're launching a brand, and and they'll tell you the whole thing. After that, he's going to meet the activation company and say, oh, we're launching the brand and we're going to do that. And then he's going to meet the digital. And then, you know what I mean? So maybe the clients are also going to get sharpened up by this.
But the clients are also sharpened in a way that they come up with their own designs now and their own campaigns. कि आप तो ये दे रहे हैं, मगर मैंने भी ये सारा कुछ करके देखा.
Oh yeah, they do it. It's really fun. But you can do it. I mean, recently I did it with a client because we did some designs, packaging.
So did they come up with their own designs?
In the night, he kept sending me like some other designs. And what I did was I chose one of his designs. I said, this is it. This is brilliant. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
And then he said, no. I was just...
ये तो मैंने कहा है.
I was just kidding around. But yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to Happa After 5. I'm Umar Jalani, founder of Happa Studios. Our guest for today is someone who truly knows the ins and outs of advertising world in Pakistan. Shakeel Khokar is a name that needs no introduction in the industry, but I'll try anyway. Being at the core of Pakistan's advertising evolution, Shakeel has spent decades shaping the industry, working with big names like Jung, leading Ogilvy and Interflow, and running his own company, Slingshot, these days. He's seen it all, done it all. And if you want to talk agency, he's your guy. Lucky for us, we've got of him today for a conversation you definitely won't want to miss. So welcome, Shakeel Khokar.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I'm so glad you took some time out. I know I've been trying to get you on our podcast for the longest time.
Yeah, I know. The Mondays haven't been meeting, Always the time has been different, but I love your office though.
Thank you.
No.
So what brings you from Islamabad to Lahore today? Is it work or have you just come for my podcast?
Oh, no.
Come on.
No, there was a little work.
Right.
With a couple of friends,
right.
but I called you the first when I was making the plan.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So lucky for us, we are able to talk to him today. You've had an absolutely outstanding career in advertising. Can you take us back to the beginning? What kind of really brought you into this?
Oh, what really got me into this? I must. Yeah.
Refresh your memory.
It's really funny. No, it is. I know. I can't forget that. So at college days when we were, trying to study, so I had a very good friend called Kareem Ramal. So
Kareem Ramal. That can't be a real name.
It is a real name, not just the name. They used to own in the top 3 agencies, Asiatic, which later became JWT, was owned by the Ramals.
All right.
So one day I was talking to Kareem and I said, listen, I'm looking for a job. He's like, but you're not qualified for anything right now.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, therefore I'm looking for a job and I'm asking you if I were qualified. So he said, why don't you go and meet my dad? And I'm like, why would I meet Ramal uncle? And he's like, for a job, and don't call him uncle. So I went, and this is the funniest interview. And he asked me, so are you good with people? So I'm like, not really. Then he asked me, are you good in like numerics and I said, no. He said, can you write? I'm like, yeah, writing can't be tough. So I thought maybe they mean a secretary or something.
Right.
So then I was hired as a copywriter.
No way.
So that's how I started. Yeah.
All right. So no wonder. I mean, you have a lot to say in all the. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, boss Shakeel was also my first boss in Interflow in 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
And he was literally my only boss. After that, I was like,
you're a smart man.
You decided I'm never going to have a boss again.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So my apologies to all the other industry agency people because he never decided to go anywhere else again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a great move.
And also, I remember because you were very passionate about the copywriting whenever we were having meetings in the office and also strategy meetings. And also you had a lot to say in the content writing part of it. So I didn't know that was your sort of background.
Two reasons. Yeah, of course, because of that. And that's really what the ad is all about. It's not what it is now.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we never have agents before. So
yeah, that's true.
we had to work.
And I was hoping to ask this question later on, but now since you've kind of brought this up, I mean, is it really different now? Advertising and you've been in business for almost 35 years?
Yeah, about 33. 33
years.
33 years.
Yes.
Yep.
So how different would it be, or you think it's just kind of repackaged separately? You still need a human input to create good copy.
I think it's a very simple thing. I think there are multiple ways to look at it. First, let's look at the strategic side. Now, whenever we're doing strategy, I'm sure, of course, you know that we look at what is the general opinion about what group of people are thinking, what about certain issues, certain things, certain blah blah. Yeah. Right now, so that is the first thing I believe that is being hit, is because right now the opinion we're looking at is an opinion controlled and algorithm by the AI,
Right.
or let's say the system itself.
Right.
So that thing I think is very big a deterrent, because now you need to be extraordinarily more smart to be able to decipher that and find the real reason, not just take the social listening or the digital data and just create a strategy. Earlier in the day, we used to do that by finding out. I've seen planners in my time, strategists in my time, creatives.
Right.
We used to go to at least, I made you guys used to visit stores and shops.
Right,
if you
absolutely.
Remember. So it is about
and it was part of the job.
Exactly. And talking to people.
Yeah.
Now, I think we rely on a generated opinion. Anybody who does so, I'm not saying people do. I'm not saying everybody does. But anybody who does so is not a good thing.
So does a generated opinion also change people's opinion?
Of course it
generally
does. Because you see and you form an opinion on what you're seeing. For instance, if you read 10 newspapers, or you used to read 10 newspapers, so you will see the same news by 10 different big column writers. And then you would choose, which side I want to go with, who's making more sense.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, I mean, you decide, because what you're reading is also an opinion that is generated. It's not really.
So does this really affect the kind of numbers or data which someone might gather? वो actual consumer के ऊपर भी affect करता है? Like does he change his opinion?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but there's a string of articles. A very good friend of mine, Asad Rahman, he's writing, which is specifically on this. So I've been following it also, and it is very interesting because he's picking up these things and he's bringing them up, and he's not the only one.
Right.
From specific creative perspective, you'll see a lot of it.
Right.
So it's like now you have a better car, which means you need a better driver. Is how I look at it. So the earlier cars used to be whatever. Now this car runs on that, but still you need a driver. So I think one has to have a bigger brain now.
So with this AI and everything coming in, how has the client expectation changed in your company and overall general? How do you think?
Well, the first good thing is mostly clients never want to hear me outside the boardroom. So, they will not be listening to this.
Right.
Is like, I think the clients need to sharpen up also with the speed. Because pehle, if you go in a classical way of an agency, was that the agency would be client's partner in any form of written or spoken communication he's going to do.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So he has one partner. He's discussing outdoors with him. He's discussing TV with him. He's discussing retail brandings with him. Now the client has about 9 people to discuss the same idea, from morning till night.
Including ChatGPT.
I just think, I don't know how they do it. Like, so you meet him in the morning, you're the creative agency, and we're like, we're launching a brand, and and they'll tell you the whole thing. After that, he's going to meet the activation company and say, we're launching the brand and we're going to do that. And then he's going to meet the digital. And then, you know what I mean? So maybe the clients are also going to get sharpened up by this.
So, but the clients are also sharpened in a way that they come up with their own designs now and their own campaigns. कि आप तो ये दे रहे हैं, मगर मैंने भी ये सारा कुछ करके देखा.
Oh yeah, they do it. It's really fun. But you can do it. I mean, recently I did it with a client because we did some designs, packaging. And
so did they come up with their own designs?
And the night he kept sending me like some other designs, and what I did was I chose one of his. I said, "This is it. This is brilliant. Let's do this.
Let's do this."
And then he said, "Nee. I was just.
ये तो मैंने कहा है.
I was just kidding around. But yeah, the clients are also. I mean, I think what everybody needs to understand. I think it's when you go on the prompts. It's not about prompts. It's about having a very clear thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which to me was a bigger problem in the advertising industry in Pakistan. Therefore, we were not crossing a certain threshold in terms of creativity.
Ji.
And I'm talking pure creativity.
Ji.
Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying, because what you're actually saying is that clients don't really mind your idea, but they have a problem in visualizing what you're putting out, right?
Because
so if we are able to quickly visualize that for clients, it will save them a lot of confusion and it'll save us a lot of time,
Absolutely, I agree. Because if you go to a client and say, so my ad starts, a girl is sitting in her
and that's how it used to be. That's exactly. I've heard you go
this is
across
how you say,
and paint an entire picture,
because you would go and you would go and say it's 7:30 a.m. She's just dressed her 2 kids.
Exactly.
She is just now waiting to cook breakfast for her husband, and she's taking a moment in which she wants to have the best cup of tea. Now the client will understand the idea. If I go and say she's sitting 7:30 and then there is some beautiful we will show drop
and no
shots.
matter how bad it is, at least the point comes across, right?
I mean, exactly.
You probably might shoot it again anyway, generally.
Well,
but for mood boarding, for example, it'd probably be great.
But you need to give it through, because the treatment used to be there. Same goes for the print visual idea. I mean, you guys used to first give a one-liner idea about your visual.
Before
not
going
show
into
me
print.
A bloody poster.
You'd hate to see it.
But now it is, they'll show you 20 posters. And the moment some designer shows you 20 posters, I go like, so you don't know. I mean,
what's wrong with you? That's absolutely right.
Exactly. So these things are killing it. Yeah.
And even that was a very good point that, and even for my team, if they're giving more than 1 to 2 options for a logo, for example, or 3 options, you're not sure what you need. And you might have made 10 options, but you don't need to present 10
No, but that's
options,
your homework,
right?
You do hundreds of sketches before coming to your master sketch, I mean, I agree with you.
I read an interview of yours in Aurora, and you said that agencies in Pakistan need to be more fearless.
The fear.
They need to work in circles instead of straight lines.
Yes.
I wanted to ask what was the thought behind that, and what did you mean by that?
The circles also, do I need to explain? I wrote the circles word over there. Yeah, all right. No, I meant like the fear. The agencies are now living under a constant fear, I feel. I've seen it as, I've produced some projects. So I've dealt with a lot of agency creative directors, not at their boss, but maybe as their executive producer. So I've seen all of them have some things common. Fear, I think itself, is really the hardest hit for agencies.
100%.
If not just the creative, if an account executive or an account director, a suit, a business guy, a chief executive, if he has the fear that if I say this, the client will leave me, and this fear is not meant for this business.
Absolutely.
The moment you have this fear that you might lose a client, you might lose a boss, a job, or blah, blah, whatever, you're dead.
Then you're bound to take dictation, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be...
And then someone's sitting on your head, कि मैं आ रहा हूँ, मेरे सामने खड़े होके काम करते हैं.
Yeah, I mean, having said that, I mean, that is true. But some of the clients also have really seen this in front of them and changed. Yeah. Rashid was one of them, and Nestle, if you remember. So he understood. So the circles and straight is from there.
Right.
So if you by circle I meant, do not just give something if you've just done it. I mean, you got to really circle back to the thought, see where it needs. So giving the definition with a very clear focus.
It's a problem of convincing the client as well, right? I mean, you know that you have something good, but if you're not able to convince it, then you are obviously not qualified for that job.
Exactly, but that means you're not a good communications person, because the client doesn't wake up and say, it's an old saying. There's an old saying. Client doesn't wake up and say, I need an ad today. He wakes up to a problem. When he needs us the most is he wakes up to a problem. His problem could be anything.
Right.
And now it's for us, if it is related into our area, that, this is your problem.
Right.
Now I feel the agencies are not highlighting problems at all. I mean, maybe they are in some cases. And the kind of work that we see, forget everything. You know what they say, the proof of pudding is in the pudding itself.
But boss, it works the other way around as well, right? I mean, clients also need to be a bit more fearless. I mean, they will, if you give them two completely contrasting things, they would choose the safest option every time.
But I agree. but if you give the client a gun and tell him how to use it, the client, chances are, will use it. Not every client. Some clients do use it.
So who do you think is the boldest client or who's constantly sort of broken boundaries
I think
Pakistan?
I would change this sentence a little.
Sure.
I mean, I mean, if I were to be asked that who I've seen are the boldest marketing directors who've made a change is a question really, because it's people.
Sure.
Unilever, it's well, we can cut Unilever but
it's
any
fine.
client, it doesn't matter. But any client, whether it's Procter, whether it's Coca-Cola, whether it's Nestle, whether it's Dalda, it's about the person who's doing his job or her job there. So the marketing person makes a big difference. Like Nestle did black packaging. Nestle would have not imagined doing black, but Rashid Aleem Qureshi was there. So he was bold enough. Later, he went on to become China chairman and CEO. So he must have done something good. Nadeem Zaman at Coke, he allowed me to use models without makeup for 3-4 years on Coca-Cola ads.
Right. Amazing.
It is,
so from the client's perspective, I mean, every campaign is directed towards how much sales that generated,
not
I guess,
really,
eventually,
not really.
right? Or how much goodwill or how much public awareness.
I mean, there is a brand health tracker study.
There is data which is being tracked after each campaign in big FMCGs.
Yeah, of course, there's the data being tracked, but what is the connection between that data and that time of campaign? Nobody knows. For instance, if you were 20, you're 24 now, but when you were 20, 4 years ago,
thank you.
So then you might have seen some communication or some brand's impression that lasted on you, and you make the purchase now.
Right.
You may not have seen any of the current, so the client can never track it.
Right.
Yeah, but what they can track is the feeling that you have for a brand. They
like
can
an
track.
Overall sentiment of people, which they might have, right?
A little more, like I mean,
and how do they track that? They just feel it.
No, they have many ways. I think the data sciences has really progressed. I think the data sciences that used to be there in terms of research, I'm saying 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, there's a tremendous difference. So I believe data is becoming better for sure.
Right.
The utilization of that data, whether that is becoming more
is where you require more balls, right? I mean, you can have all the data which points out to a certain direction, but you'll still choose something which is very safe for you, right?
Clients have a tendency to not risk their jobs. B, the fear.
Actually, okay, let me ask you another question. I mean, we have the same demographics almost between India and Pakistan, right? How come almost kind of the same? I mean, in the past 5 years, they've, of course, grown in significantly in a bunch of other areas. But I mean, the campaigns there have always been, at one time, we were the same, we were producing the same kind of work. And then suddenly, there was a complete change in what's happening in India.
I agree. Right? The bit of things. First, I'll close that. So in Pakistan, I always tell people that the 3 B's of marketing. Forget the P's and whatever else, but the 3 B's: budgets, brains, and balls.
Right.
If you lack in any one of them, you can't be a good marketing company. That said, now Indian side is like you must visit some readings on the Indian cinema. So the creative fraternity. So ultimate, like. If you ask me, Pakistani, a commercial director, ultimate objective is what? To direct a feature film. Correct? So over there also, it's not different. So the creative industry over there is much larger.
Right.
Look at their cinema. So when their cinema boomed, it'll have a natural effect on the advertising side.
Right.
Our cinema has never boomed.
No.
I mean, our cinema died in late 70s.
We had a couple of hits, but that's about it.
Yeah, but after that, really...
There's no industry as such.
That's television cinema, what you're talking about. But cinema died. I mean, Lahore used to have 59 cinema houses itself or something like that. Right. Karachi had now you can't find a cinema. Now there's different.
Right.
So, but it's not to that number. So when the cinema industry drops, literally that. Second part, they're 10 times bigger than us or 12 times bigger than us.
Right.
I think their economy is even larger. So the brand consumption is huge. एक माचिस वाला करोड़पति होता है.
Right, बिल्कुल.
Because वो
यहाँ भी करोड़पति होगा, I guess.
पर वहाँ वो 100 करोड़ माचिसें बेचता है एक दिन में. यहाँ पे आप पूरे भी बेचेंगे.
That doesn't answer industry. Why are they more experimental in terms of the campaigns?
Because when the industry, I was coming to that, when the industry increases, you have more competing brands fighting for the same share.
Right.
Then to stand out becomes a necessity.
Right.
Or a necessary even to be creatively experimental.
Right.
यहाँ पे तो 30 साल तक हाशमी सुरमे कोई challenge करने नहीं आया तो हाशमी सुरमा why would they need to change?
वो कह रहे कि हमें advertise करने की जरूरत नहीं है.
Yeah, but they died. Dentonic didn't go with the time because in everybody's house. Elite's home.
Right.
Dentonic was a brand Metro Million Agarbat. So they
Gin tonic was one of my favorite. I mean,
everybody had it.
What a legendary.
It died without, but it died without a noise. I worked on gin tonics for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, 96 something.
So let me ask you another thing. Since a lot of our businesses are also like generational businesses, right?
Yeah.
Do you see a difference of companies जिसके third generation के लोग अब आके काम कर रहे हैं?
Both ways, good and bad.
How is that changing?
I think good and bad. You see, you see both things. I will not name. I have a meeting with one of them next week. But I've seen some brands who are now doing better.
Yeah.
But there's definitely 3 big brands I know who were doing better before,
right?
Than they're doing now.
Oh, okay.
For sure. But I think the new generation.
Hold on. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
You think they were doing better because of what?
I think they were doing better because they had bigger balls and they were willing to take the blame for it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah?
So they were more adventurous.
For instance, if I say the brand called Tulsi, everybody remembers at one time you would just know Tulsi was everywhere. Now it's not,
Right. Bilkul.
So, I mean, so these kind of things you see. So some people were doing it better. Some people are now doing better. For instance, Preet was quiet.
Like our favorite Go-Go restaurant. It's the worst makeover ever.
But it's a bad one. It's a bad positioning. Now coming to that.
Terrible positioning.
Yeah, but that is the problem area. Positioning is the biggest problem area I feel brands have in Pakistan.